Welcome back to Simbright Fashion Academy YouTube channel for another interesting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to sew this beautiful wrap pleated skirt. It's actually a high-low wrap pleated skirt. You can see what I got right here. You can see the high-low part of this skirt. So in this class, I'll be teaching you the tips and tricks to making this skirt exactly the way it is right there on the thumbnail. So you can see the high-low part. Can you see that? So this is how to wear it. The first one will go in and you button it up. Then you button it up again. And then it has a buckle, so to speak, or a ring where you are going to pass the belt inside. Okay, so this is how I pass it, as you can see. So this is it, and you can see it's actually looking very beautiful. So make sure you make it exactly your waistline, as you can see right here. So if this is what you want to learn in this class, I will encourage you to stay till the end of this tutorial. So here I'm making use of 6 cardboard paper, but the right paper is your craft paper. Okay, so but I don't have a craft paper, so I'm using 6 cardboard paper, as you can see right here. So I'm going to put the cardboard papers together with my adhesive. So I'll join the 6 of them together to make one cardboard full paper for this tutorial, because we are going to cut 180 degrees for this skirt. So I've joined it together. You can see what I got after I joined the 6 of them together. So after joining it together, then we'll use it to cut our 180 degrees. So I bring it back to the table. We are going to calculate the waist. I'm using waist 38. So this waist 38 right here, I'm going to 38 inches. I'm going to cut 180 degrees flay with this cardboard paper. So I will just add plus 1 inch because we are going to join the sides with half an inch. So if I add plus 1, I'll be having 39 inches for my waistline. So this 39 inches, I'll divide it by 3.14 because we are cutting 180 degrees flay. So that 3.14 is constant for cutting 180 degrees flay. So here I got 12.4, so I'll just eliminate 4 inches and use 12 inches as my radius. So now I'm going to pick up my paper from one edge. I'm going to fold it to the other edge. So if you are cutting 180 degrees flay, of course you know how to go about it. So I'll just put it together like this. Then the folded edge, that is where I'm going to mark out the radius. So I'm taking my time to arrange the paper, so I'll be able to mark out the radius right now. So I will go over to mark the radius from the folded edge. So the radius we are using here, which I calculated, is 12 inches. So you'll be using your own radius, okay? Your own waist, you are going to add 1 inch, divide it by 3.14. Whatever you get is your radius. So my own radius is 12 inches, and I'm going to mark 12 inches all around. So you can see how I'm marking it. From that point, I'm going to mark 12 inches, 12 inches, 12 inches till I get to the other end. Then I'm going to connect all the points together, and that serves as my radius. So the radius is 12 inches. So after marking out the radius right now, the next thing we want to do is to take the length of this flay. But actually, my mold is going to be bigger than my flay. So I'm measuring 34 inches on the paper, 34 inches. So if you notice that your paper is not enough, you can just go ahead and join your paper. That is, if you have a bigger waist, that means you will join more paper to make up this length. So the length I'm calculating taking from the radius is 34 inches for my mold. 34 inches, okay? So the overlapping skirt is actually a 3/4. So that is why we are making it at 34 inches length. So after calculating or connecting the 34 inches right now, that is the length of my flay. So I'll proceed to cutting out the radius. After cutting out the radius, I'm going to cut out the length of the flay as well. So here I'm going to cut it out. As you can see, that is the down part of this flay. So this is my mold, okay? This is the mold we are going to use for the pleating of this skirt. So after cutting out my pepper, you can see what I got right here. So if I open this pepper now, I have 180 degrees circle. Okay, so that is half a circle. So you can see it's half a circle I have right here. So I'm going to put it together once again, and we'll begin to mark out or grade the sections. So on the down part, I'm going to grade the sections with 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. I'm going to mark 2.5 inches from one end of the pepper to the other end of the pepper right now. So 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. So you can make it 2 inches if you want. If you want, you can make it 2.5, but I think 2.5 is standard for this particular high load skirt, okay? So I made mine 2.5 inches. So I've marked the 2.5 inches to the end. Right now I'm going to start sectioning it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to section it from that 10 inches to the end. So at the end of the day, I got 29 inches, 29 sections, sorry. So these 29 sections is what I'm going to do to divide the upper piece. So I'm going to take the measurement of the upper piece right here. And here the upper piece I got 19.5. I'm going to divide it by 29 sections and I have 0.67. So this 0.67 is the line before 3/4. So I'm going to mark the line before 3/4 for the sectioning like that till I get to the end of the upper circle. So once I get to the upper circle right now, after sectioning it, you can see if you count it, you'll be able to have 29 sections. So you can just go ahead and highlight the lines and count it to 29 sections for the upper piece. So I'll start connecting the down piece at 2.5 to the upper piece at 0.67. So you make sure all the sections are aligning from the down piece to the upper piece like that, like that. So this is what I'll keep doing, sectioning it like that, like that. So that means what you have on the down piece, the sections you have on the down should be the same section you have on the upper piece. So here I'm almost getting to the end of the sectioning, as you can see. So I'll keep marking it from top to bottom like that. So I'm done right now. So we are going to start pleating the mold. Okay, so we are going to pleat the mold right now. So we are going to pick up all the sections right now and fold them and kiss it to the next section. So but I'm going over to my table. So I have a square table. So you can see the edge of this table is actually squared. So if you want to get this perfectly, make sure you use the edge of a table. So that edge of the table will help you to have that fold. Then you kiss it to the next fold. Okay, once you are done kissing to the next fold, then you come back to the next line. Okay, the next line, don't skip any line. Okay, you can see I'm in number 2 right now. I did not skip any line at all. So I made sure that I have my foldings accordingly. So I'll keep kissing it to one like that. So I'll keep doing that once I get to the next line. So I'm just taking my time to show you how to do this. So you keep kissing it like this, like that. That is what I'll keep doing until I fold all the lines. Okay, so using the edge of my table. So I actually took my time to show you what I did from the beginning to the end. So now I've gotten almost to the end of it right now. I'm still using the edge of my table, as you can see. So I keep pleating and kissing, pleating and kissing the lines till I get to the end of it. So this actually is much work anyway, but it is very good if you are able to get it exactly the way I'm doing it right here. It really worth it, okay? So at the end of baking your pleats, you have beautiful pleats like the one I have right here. So at the end of it, you can see I kissed and I got to the end right now. So we are done kissing the pepper. So I'm going to pick it up together. So I'm using 3 yards of my fabric, 3 yards of crepe fabric. That's what I'm using. So I am using crepe fabric 3 yards. So these 3 yards, I'm going to fold it into 3. That is 1 yard. You fold it 1 yard into 3. So you can see how I folded the 3 pieces right there. So these 3 pieces I folded right now, I'm going to pick up my pattern and place on top of it the way you see. So make sure the radius piece is just at the point of the line. So here I've cut it out, as you can see. I added 1/2 inch on the sides, both sides. So we have 3 pieces right there. So at the end of the day, we'll be having 3 pieces. So I'll just take off the mold. I'll take off the mold right now. So make sure you spread this mold. I was actually supposed to cut before I make the mold, okay? So you can cut this before you make the mold. So here I took the measurement at 32 inches from the radius. So I'm going to take it all around. So if you look very well, you are going to see the lines I made, which is 32 inches. So I've cut it out, as you can see. So that is how your skirt is going to look like before we take it to the oven. So I bring it back to the table. So you can see I have 3 pieces of it after I'm done cutting. So 3 pieces is what I got right here. So these 3 pieces I got right here, I'm going to pick up 2 pieces and then keep 1 piece, okay? So I'm picking up 2 pieces and I'll keep 1 piece. So we are going to first bake these 2 pieces before we bake the 1 piece. So these 2 pieces right now, I'm going to first go to my machine and I'm going to weave and stitch and fold only once. So you are going to weave and fold only once for both of them. So I'm done right now. You can see what I got right here with my folding. So that is the down part of it I folded. So the next thing we are going to do now is to place this on the mold. So I bring back my mold right now and I'm going to open up the mold. So once you open up the mold, then you are going to pick up the 2 pieces we folded or we hemmed, then place it inside the mold. So make sure you arrange it very, very well inside the mold. So I'm trying to arrange the 2 of them very, very well. So I'll start to secure the end of it with my pin so it does not scatter when I am folding it for baking. So you just secure with your pin at the edge like that. So I'll also go to the other end of the mold and I'm going to secure with my pin. So make sure you align the waistline with the waistline of the mold. So I spread it very, very well. Make sure you spread it very, very well so that it matches exactly with the mold, because we use the mold to cut the fabric. So later I'm going to close up the mold. So I close it up right now and I'm going to secure it with my pin at the edges. So I'll take off the pins I pinned already and secure the 2 of them together with the fabric. So after pinning, this is what we got. So next is to start pleating both the fabric and the mold. So we are going to pleat everything together, both the fabric and the mold. So make sure you you pin them together. So I'll just keep picking them. So if you have a clip, if you are able to pleat, then you pin it with your clip. Okay, so I don't have enough clip right here, so I'm just using what I got right here. As you can see, I'm using the clip I have. I'll just manage it and make sure I get my pleatings. So when you are pleating, make sure you pleat everything from top to bottom. Even the upper piece, you need to get the pleats very, very well. That is the secret. So if you get the pleats very, very well, it's going to help the pleating to be even. Okay, from the down piece to the upper piece, the pleating is going to be even. So I'll keep doing this, taking the pleatings on the mold. So as I'm pleating it, you see the fabric is following, or is pleating together with the mold. So I find this method very, very easy and wonderful. At the end of the day, you get exactly the right pleats that you have. Okay, so it looks very much professional to make use of your oven. So here I'm going to use my copper wire to bind. So the copper wire is just a binder for me. So I'll just bind and I'll keep binding. So I'm going to bind all of them together from top to bottom. So I first bind the down piece of it, then I'm going to bring the upper piece together for my binding, to bind it very well. So you can see I'm actually taking my time to make sure. So right here you can see I'm making the pleats gently like that, making sure all the pleats are together, as you can see. Okay, so at this point you need to make sure everything is even from the down part to the upper piece. So I'll take my time to bring them together, all together. So once I'm done bringing them together, I'm going to bind all of them. So I'm going to keep binding like that, until I get to the top. So you can see what I'm doing right here. So I'm actually taking my time to make sure I bind them very well, and also showing you how I did it. So I've gradually come to the upper piece right now. So I'm going to take my time to bind the upper piece. So after binding the upper piece, I made sure I bind everything. You can see how I did that. So I'm going to take this mold to the oven right now to bake. So I think the baking method, to me, I prefer to bake this to come out with a better result. But before you go ahead to bake, make sure you bind very, very well. You can see I'm binding everything. I'm binding everything very, very well. So I come with my foil right now. So you are going to use your foil, your aluminium foil. You are going to use it to cover up this mold so it does not burn. So this aluminium foil, if you use it to cover it, you can bake as long as you want. And I think I prefer to bake longer. So when you bake longer, it's going to create the pleats very strongly. Okay, if you bake longer, you have a better pleating. So I'll cover everything with my aluminium foil all around. Make sure you cover it very, very well. So I'm making sure I cover everything before I put it into the oven. So right here you need a bowl of water under your grid. Okay, so I'm going to set it to 180 degrees. Okay, so you turn it to 180 degrees, then put your mold inside. So if you look, you can see I raised my mold a little bit on the upper piece because it was not really the size of my oven. So I close my oven right now and I begin to bake at 45 minutes. I actually baked at 45 minutes. With an aluminium foil, you can even bake for 1 hour. The longer you bake, the better. So here I'm checking it and it's done. So I bring it outside to cool. So make sure it cools very well before you open it. So after cooling, this is what I got right now. I'm going to remove the aluminium foil right away. So I'll remove the aluminium foil. And here you can see I'm taking off the binders right now. So I'll take off the binders right away. And then I open up the mold. So I'm going to take off the pins right now and I want you to see what we got right here. La la! Very beautiful. You can see how beautiful the pleatings are. They are actually very even. Okay? So when pleating this, pleating the mold, you have to make sure you get it right. So here is my two-piece right now. So I'm going to put the two pieces together and join them as one. So I'll pick it up and join them right side to right side as one. So I'll go over to my machine right now and I'm going to stitch at 1/2 inch, right side to right side. I'll start from the down piece to stitch. Make sure you start from the down piece. So I'll stitch from the down piece to the upper piece, as you can see. So after stitching, this is what I got right here. So I stitched at 1/2 inch. So you just stitch at 1/2 inch like that. So this two piece is ready as one right now. So I'm going to set it aside, then we'll work on the other one piece we set aside. So this one piece, I'll put it together, top and bottom, you put it together. Then we are going to start to mark out the high low. So make sure you put it together. The open part has to be on the left side. Then you mark 7 inches from that point and create your chalk line as I'm creating right here. So after creating the chalk line, I highlight it at 7 inches. You open it up and then cut out the chalk line. So you are going to cut only on the chalk line. Don't cut anywhere else apart from the chalk line. So I'll proceed to cutting on the chalk line, as you can see right here. That is the high-low for you. So I'll now go over to the machine. I'm going to fold it in and stitch just like I did for the other. So after stitching, this is what I got. Then on that side I high-lowed, I'm going to also hem it very well from down to the up. So after hemming it, I gave it a good press, as you can see. So we'll bring back the mold, we open up the mold and place this one piece on it. Make sure you align it very well. Then I secure it with my pins on the edges. And then I'm going to repeat the same process I did for the two piece. So the only difference is that this part is high load. So open up your mold very well, spread it very well, okay? Then after spreading and arranging it, we are going to use the other one to cover it. So I made sure I spread it. So you can see the high load part right now is actually showing itself that is high load at that part. Then at the edge, the other edge, I'm going to secure it with my pin. And then I'm going to overlap it, okay? So I'm going to overlap it with the other one, just like we did before. So I made sure I arrange everywhere, okay? I arranged even the upper piece. I secured it with my pin this time, since I've already used the mold for the first time. So I need to make sure everything aligns. So I'm going to close up the mold, as you can see, and now pin everything on the side. So I'm practically repeating what I did in the first mold, okay, the two piece. So I'll begin to bind them together. I'll begin to take everything together, as you can see, like that, until I get to the end of it. So putting it together, I'll also use my copper wire to bind this part. So I'm done binding it right now. I'm going to cover it with my foil, and I'll take it to the oven as well. So I've taken it and I've baked it. I bring it out. So I'm going to untie the coils, okay, the copper wire. So after untying, I'm going to open it up and remove the pins on the side, just like I did before too. So we are going to unveil this piece, this single piece. We are going to unveil it. You can see what we got right here, and this is the high load part. So I'll now take off the high load one piece. That is the part that is going to be at the front piece. You take it off from the mold, and we begin to stitch it right now. So you can see the two pieces I stitched. So I'm going to stitch this other one on the left side. Make sure you stitch it on the left side, so by the time you overlap it, it overlaps very well. So I'm going to stitch the length that matches with the two piece, because the other part is shorter now since it's high load. So now you can see I've stitched it. You can see we have two stitches right there. So one is going to be on the inside and the other is going to be at the outside. So here you can see what I got is actually looking beautiful. You can see the high load part. So the next thing we are going to do now is to sew the band. So for the band, I'm going to take the measurement of what I have right here. We have three pieces here. So the measurement I have here is 19.5. So this 19.5, I'm going to multiply it by 3. So I'm just taking it again to be sure it's 19.5. So I'll multiply 19.5 by 3. I have 58.5. Then I'll add 1 inch to it, making it 60 inches. So my band width is 4 inches, and I folded half an inch. So I'll just go ahead and sew half an inch, close it up at half an inch. After closing it up, I'll turn it, and this is what I got right here. So I'm going to bring my skirt and I'm going to sew the band right now. I'll sew the wrong side to the right side of the band first. So I'm going to sew it all around. So after sewing, this is what I got. I'll use the part I folded in to top stitch on it. So I'll go ahead and top stitch on it. So I'm done top stitching, and you can see I left 1 inch on that part. So this 1 inch is for the buckle I showed you at the beginning of this tutorial. And the other end, I just stitched it without any extension. So I'll now bring in my buckle right now. You can get this buckle at the market. So just go to the market and show them this buckle. Then I insert the two of them inside, and then I'm going to top stitch by the side of it. So after top stitching by the side of it, then this is what I got right here, and that is how we are going to insert it. So on the other side, I got 14 length, piece length, and the width is 4 inches too. So I'm going to stitch half an inch and turn it like a belt. So this part is the part that is going to be inserted on the ring or the buckle, okay? So here I'm going to turn it to the right side, just like you have your belt. So you can go ahead and give it a good press. So after turning it, we are going to attach it to the skirt. And I want you to watch where I'm going to attach it. So I bring in the skirt. This is the buckle, and this is the next line. So the second line seam, that is where you are going to stitch it. So you can see where I'm facing it, okay? You face it that way, and then turn it and top stitch on it, okay? So I repeat, you face it this way and turn it and top stitch on it like that. So this is the buckle right now. I'm done stitching the belt, so you can see I stitched it at the second line. Okay, so we are going to sew our button. You will now turn it to the wrong side and sew the button inside. Near the buckle, you are going to sew the button inside, and then after sewing this part, this button, I'll also show you where to sew the next button. You actually need 2 buttons for this. So I'm done sewing the button there, so I'm going to sew the next one beside the next seam. Sorry, the power went off, but I need to continue this tutorial. So I'm stitching the second button right now. So after stitching the second button, we are done with this project. So the next thing we are going to do is to open up the button holes. So you can see where the buttons are on the inside. Then I'm going to turn the right side of the other end and then open the button holes. So the button hole will be marked at this other end and near the belt. Okay, so this is it and we are done. So when you wear it, you wear it exactly the way I showed you. It's a wrap pleated skirt. You take one in and button, and take the other and button, and then you pass your belt. So you wear it this way, come over here and button it. So the buttons will be on the inside. Nobody will see the buttons on the inside. Then you now use the belt and pass it through the buckle or through the ring as I show you. So that is how we come to the end of this tutorial. I believe this class was helpful to you. So if this class was helpful to you, I would like to see your comment on the comment section. And if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video and share this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.